Om. 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 Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantayet. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satya Devaya Dhimahe Tanna Sarva Prachodayakaat. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayakaat. Om Sai Ishwaraya Vidmahe Satya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayakaat. Om Yajneshwaraya Vidmahe Yesunathaya Dhimahi Tanno Tyagi Prachodayakaat. Om Yajneshwaraya Vidmahe Yesunathaya Dhimahi Tanno Tyagi Prachodayakaat. Om Yajneshwaraya Vidmahe Yesunathaya Dhimahi Tanno Tyagi Prachodayakaat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Our Father, thou art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ki eleison. Christe eleison. Kyrie eleison. Kyrie eleison. Adoramaste Christe. We open this session with reverential pranams to the lotus feet of the Father and the beautiful Son, whose glory we celebrate in the context of Christmas across the globe. Christ, the title, means the one who has sacrificed himself in the yajna in the context of the entire universe. The sacrifice of the eye on the cross is what it represents as becoming the Christ. To that Christ who is the Mrityunjaya, the one who defeated the death and therefore has become immortal as Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mrukshiyamamrutat. The true meaning of this mantra is actually Jesus the Christ, because he who sacrifices himself for the sake of love and service to the entire humanity, he deserves to be called as the Son of God. No one else is so supreme in the context of that sacrifice as Jesus the Christ, Kyrie eleison. We love him. We love the Father and the Son, both of whom have sacrificed themselves for the sake of the whole universe as the body, the mind complex. So, brothers and sisters, this yajna that we're talking about is all about all the tendencies that come interfering with the ego complex was the supreme consciousness. And this Devi Mahatyam is a systematic analysis and going into the intricate detail of every tendency that interferes. And that is what we are truly studying as the glory of so-called the mother. But she is neither the mother nor the father. The gender is only for the mind to connect to, for it has no context of any classification. And last week, we concluded with the 7th chapter, which is about the destruction of Chanda and the Munda by this thing called the mother, referred to as Kali. Kali means the mother. That is the one that by whose presence you shall lose the fear of death. And that's exactly what Jesus experienced, losing the fear of death. Therefore, he was able to sacrifice himself on the cross. You understand this? This is exactly what, when you face the mother, you shall lose the fear of death. And she is the time that consumes everything mercilessly, and galaxies and orbs of galaxies just entering into her mouth. And then she shall hold the two things associated with the mind. One is completely extrovertic, rajasic bull in the china shop called pravritti, called Chanda, and completely tamasic, introvertic, inaction called Munda. Both are associated with the time, the movement of the mind outward, completely rajasic, as if it has to go achieve everything in the world. And in doing so, it will do anything associated with telling aligning itself, like what the Chanda and the Munda did with Shumbha and Nishubha, which is the ego and the mind complex. See, this is a very beautiful connection to ourselves, not just talking about some external mythological glory that happened, Pura Shabda, what we call as a all thousands of years ago it happened, and therefore the mother killed, and therefore we worship the mother. That is all fine, but that is still all external. It has no relevance to our lives. Connect to this Devi inside and understand what's moving. And once you connect to that, everything is so beautifully described. And now it doesn't stop with the movement of the mind. The story goes beyond even. And today, as we start this very beautiful chapter, the 8th chapter, we will be looking at the story of our inside associated with another beautiful complex called the desire. Pramuncha dhanvanastvamubhayo rartniyorjam yaschate hasta ishava parata bhagavo vapa. And this is the mantra associated with the Sri Rudram and this chapter. It's a beautiful aspect about the mind as the bow, and this bow of the mind, the bow is the mind, right? And this bow as the mind is constantly connected with a string. If you don't attach this mind, the bow, with a string, what happens? The bow is do anything. But in order for the bow to get into action, you need the string. And that string is what we're talking as attaching. Both ends of the mind are now attached with a string, and that string brings the bow into tension. Hello. Every word there is loaded with, if you connect to it, the bow comes to tension by the string. If the string is not there connecting both ends of the bow, there is no tension in the bow.
Sairam, I have a question.
Yes.
On the seventh chapter,
Yes,
we
yes.
talked about Kali as time that devours everything, good and bad. So my question, so how come these mantras have survived? If Kali absorbs everything, how come these ancient mantras have survived?
They survived because they're constantly happening with every human mind and beyond.
I think it is also her form, because the mantras are her form.
Who is speaking? 1 second.
I'm Chitralekha here because she's mantra swarupini. So yeah, so she owns the mantra. She is the form of the mantra. She's everything in the mantra.
Yeah. So what fundamentally, I think thank you, Chitralekha. Just 1 second. What we are present to, just don't jump into giving answers. Just look at what the question is. The question really is, how did these mantras actually survive the context of time? Is that what question is, Auntie, that you're asking?
That is correct, because we see all the civilizations are gone.
Yes.
Everything that's connected with these mantras are gone.
Yeah.
So how come the sound is still there of these mantras?
Yes, because she is fundamentally, there are only 3 things that survive the time as long as the human mind exists. There is time, there is space, there is causation or objectivity. There is time, there is space, there is causation. As long as the mind exists, these 3 will exist. Or as long as these 3 exist, the mind will exist. So what we are looking at as the Ramayana, the Bhagavad Gita, the Vedic scriptures, all these things are associated with that timelessness, spacelessness, and causationless. But when they come into picture, they come into, if you don't have those 3, all these mantras will disappear, because there is nothing to be related to. We can take it offline and connect to it even more deeper than that. It's not a simple answer. Who is she as a mantra swarupini? There's nothing really called she and he here. So all of this we are talking as identification with a story is very simply about what is happening within us. Nothing more than that. And we'll go into the 8th chapter. Now there is another layer of beautiful complexity associated with the ego self. And this is all about the manifestation of the ego self. And that ego self has all these vagaries associated with them. And systematically, the Rishi is now going deeper and deeper into each of them. And how those relate to us is what we are studying. Yes. And when we connect to the Shabdam, or what we call as the vibration of the energy associated with them, which is not explicitly told, but embedded in these mantras. And that's the reason our effort to pronounce properly is to invoke that sound that is the connection to the divine within us. Even more deeper than, I hope you are with me. Huh? What is the context of all these Veda mantras? As the sound. There's Shabda Brahman. If you don't have the proper exact sound to the tune that we have it, then in the presence of that sound is the closest to the divine consciousness. I have already, we went through this exercise, right? What is sound? Sound is space. What is space? What is space? Describe space. Don't describe God. Describe space. Okay, we'll go into the chapter now, into the beautiful Dhyana Shlokam. And this Dhyana Shlokam, yes, sir, Sairam, we will be sharing the document now. Chandrasekhar, you can pull up the document. We start with this beautiful Dhyana Shlokam. Arunam Karunatarangitaakshim Dhrita Pasha Ankusha Bana Chapa Hastam. And in every one of these dhyana shlokas, you see the reference to these quote unquote weapons associated with the Divine Mother. All these weapons are all our faculties. The difference is, for the one who is ego bound, these weapons hold them. But if you are free of that ego, you hold the weapons. The weapons exist. The weapons are not going anywhere. They're always present because the I is present. Dhrita means holding. Pasha, which is the moose. Ankusha, the gourd. Bana is the arrow. Chapa means the bow. Hastam, holding those firmly in her hands. Who is holding those firmly in her hands? Arunam, the one with this beautiful orange complexion. Karuna Tarangita Akshim, whose eyes are filled with the beautiful compassion. Animadibhi Avrutam Mayukaihi Aham Ityeva Vibhavaye Bhavani. See, what happens is, when you have all these faculties, what we are calling as the Pasha, the Ankusha, the Bana, and the Chapa, and you are holding them firmly, not allowing them to take control of you, but you are in control of those. Then what happens? All kinds of siddhis will automatically be present. Anima siddhe, laghima siddhe, garima siddhe, mahima siddhe, isitva siddhe, vasitva siddhe, prakamya siddhe, bhukti siddhe, ichcha siddhe, prapti siddhe, sarvakama siddhe. All these are what is called siddhi. Siddhi means now the mind is fully capable of achieving anything and everything. In fact, all the achievements come and sit at your doorstep. They're saying, I am waiting for you to get hold of me. They become your servants when you have the control over your senses. When you have control over your faculties, all the siddhis are ready to come and serve you. And then what happens? All kinds of materializations happens, visions happens, this happens, that happens, and all. And then you are now, oh my God, that miracle. Oh my God, this miracle. No, that miracle, what you are calling, is actually not an unnatural phenomenon. That miracle, what you're having, is completely natural, but your mind is now pulled towards this, and you lost the control of these weapons. Don't get carried away by all this miracles and experiences. Then he's saying, Mayukaihi Aham Ityevaye Vibhavaye. This Aham, the full, complete presence of the Supreme Self, now comes into picture. When all these faculties are in your hands and control, and all the siddhis are sitting to serve this Aham. And now I am completely Vibhavaye Bhavani. I am completely indulged and merged into this thing called Bhavani. And who is Bhavani? Who is Bhairavi? Who is Kali? It's who is Chandi. All these things are description of the same thing, but with respect to one single vignette of what their presence is in one particular angle. Bhavani, Bhavani, Bhavanagamya, Bhavaranya Kutarika, Bhadrapriya, Bhadramurtir, Bhakta Saubhagyadayini, Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vasya Bhayapaha. Who is Bhavani? Bhavani is that acts, Bhavani, Bhavana, Agamya, Bhava, Aranya, Kutarika. Bhavani is that axe that will come and uproot a tree in a forest where you are lost. And this forest in which you are lost is Bhavana, Agamya, means you are clouded with a clutter of thoughts, and now you are in this dark forest with clutter of thoughts, and these thoughts are not enabling you to be present. Even no light seen that dark forest, and suddenly what happens? One axe comes and uproots these trees, and now suddenly all the light is present. Mayukai aham ityeva vibhavaye Bhavani. You can just get lost in every meditation shloka is slow. That's why it's called dhyanam, not simply chanting. This is dhyanam, where the dhi, ya, anam, where the intellect is now guided into this supreme path of becoming one with that which is Aruna, Karuna, Aruna, Karuna. How they rhyme? Aruna, Karuna. Aruna, Karuna. Aruna. What is Aruna means? Orange red, as I said. What is orange red? The orange red is the last in the spectrum of visualization of the light from violet to red, Vibjar. So therefore, there is Krishna, the Kali, who is completely black, violet, whatever you want to call it, blue, to the red, which is the Aruna. So from the spectrum of the entire visualization that you are seeing in this world is covered by violet to red, the spectrum of light. If it is ultraviolet, you cannot see. If it is infrared, you cannot see. You can only see in the spectrum between violet to red, and that violet to red is the mother as Kali to Aruna. Nilagriva Vilohita, in the reference to the father. Kali, Aruna, in reference to the mother. Nilagriva Vilohita. Nilagriva means completely violet. Vilohita are blue, violet, and then Vilohita means red. Nilagriva Vilohita. Kali, Aruna. And this Aruna, this spectrum of light with which you are seeing, what you are seeing compassion. Karuna Tarangita, Akshim. When you see the world, you see it with compassion. And when you see the world with compassion, all your faculties are in your control. You don't use them to hurt others. You use them only for self-realization. Dhrita, Pasha, Ankusha, Bana, Chapa, Hastam. Then all these things, what we call as siddhis, are waiting at your doorstep. Animadi bhiravrutam, animadibhi avrutam, surrounded by all this incredible grace. Then all your thoughts are annihilated, complete stillness. Then what you see? Only light and love. Mayukai aham iti eva vibhavaye Bhavani. It's time to do meditation then, chanting, no? On this beautiful mantra. That's what we are starting our 8th. Goma.
Dhyanam Om Arunam Karunatarangitakshim Dhrita Pashankushat Bana Chapahastam.
Om Dhyanam Om Arunam Karunatarangitakshim Dhritapashankushabhana Chapahastam. Om Arunam Karunatarangitakshim धृतपाशाङ्कुशबाणचापहस्ताम्
अणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूकैः अहमित्येव विभावये भवानीम्
अणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूकैः अहमित्येव विभावये भवानीम् अणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूकैः अहमित्येव विभावये भवानीम्
ॐ ध्यानम् ॐ अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशबाणचापहस्ताम् अणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूकैः अहमित्येव विभावये भवानीम्
ध्यानम् ॐ अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशबाणचापहस्ताम् अणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूकैः अहमित्येव विभावये भवानीम् ॐ अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशबाणचापहस्ताम् अणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूखैः अहमित्येव विभावये भवानी.
Now we go into the study of the 8th chapter, Rishi Ruvacha. Who is the Rishi here, Chandrasekhar?
Yeah, Sumedha.
Okay, good. Chende cha nihate, daitye, munde cha vinipatite, bahuleshu cha sainyeshu, kshaiteshva sureshwaraha. When Chanda and Munda, the Diti's sons, were slain or killed, Bahulechusha Sainyeshu, all Chaiteshvaha, all the different battalions were destroyed. The Lord of the Asuras, and we can continue the next slokam, which is continuation of that. Tatah Kopa Paradhina Chetah Shumbha Pratapavan, taken over by the anger, Shumbha, the valorous one, Udyogam Sarva Sainyanan, Daityanamadi Deshaha, Daityanama Adeshaha. He is saying, okay, he has now given order to Udyogam to wake up or to get into the battle of his entire army against the mother. Chendecha nihate daitye mundecha vinipatite bahuleshu cha sainyesu kshaiteshva sureshwaraha tatah kopaparadhina chetashubha pratapavan udyogam sarva sainyanam daityanamadi deshaha.
ॐ ऋषिरुवाच चण्डे च निहते दैत्ये मुण्डे च विनिपातिते
ॐ ऋषिरुवाच चण्डे च निहते दैत्ये मुण्डे च विनिपातिते. ॐ ऋषिरुवाच चण्डे च निहते दैत्ये मुण्डे च विनिपातिते.
बहुलेषु च सैन्येषु क्षयितेष्वसुरेश्वरः
बहुलेषु च सैन्येषु क्षयितेष्वसुरेश्वरः बहुलेषु च सैन्येषु क्षयितेष्वसुरेश्वरः।
ॐ ऋषिरुवाच चण्डे च निहते दैत्ये मुण्डे च विनिपातिते बाहुलेषु च सैन्येषु क्षयितेष्वसुरेश्वरः।
ॐ ऋषिरुवाच चण्डे च निहते दैत्ये मुण्डे च विनिपातिते बहुलेषु च सैन्येषु क्षयितेष्वसुरेश्वरः। चण्डे च निहते दैत्ये मुण्डे च विनिपातिते बहुलेषु च सैन्येषु क्षयितेष्वसुरेश्वरः।
Aman, just slow down a little bit. Tata kopapar, like chant in the speed, please.
Okay. ततः कोपपराधीनचेताः शुम्भः प्रतापवान्
Tata kopaparadhina cheta shumbhav pratapavan. Like, because a lot of people are learning, they have to get the words properly. So chant slower than that. Yes, please. Thank
Okay,
you.
Bhaiya. Okay, Bhaiya.
Shall I do, Sandhya?
Yes, please.
ततः कोपपराधीनचेताः शुम्भः प्रतापवान्। ततः कोपपराधीनचेताः शुम्भः प्रतापवान्।
उद्योगं सर्वसैन्यानां दैत्यानामादिदेशः
उद्योगं सर्वसैन्यानां दैत्यानामादिदेशः। उद्योगं सर्वसैन्यानां दैत्यानामादिदेशः।
ततः कोपपराधीनचेताः शुम्भः प्रतापवान् उद्योगं सर्वसैन्यानां दैत्यानामादिदेशः।
ततः कोपपराधीनचेताः शुम्भः प्रतापवान् उद्योगं सर्वसैन्यानां दैत्यानामादिदेशः। ततः कोपपराधीनचेताः शुम्भः प्रतापवान् उद्योगं सर्वसैन्यानां दैत्यानामादिदेशः।
Adya sarva balair daityah षडशीति रुदायुधाः कम्बूनां चतुरशीतिर्निर्यान्तु स्वबलैर्वृता. Now adya 86 asuras षडशीतिः and their balair daityah, very strong, forceful ones, the daityas, 86 of them. And these 86 of them, and then 86 of one particular one called Udayudhaha. It is interpreted as just raising their weapons, but actually I'll go into the inner meaning of this later on. You have to pay attention to Udayudhaha, Kambunam, Kotiviryani, Dhaumranam, Kalaka, Daurhrida, Maurva, Kalakeya. All these different clans of Daityas will be coming in the next shlokas. So he has appraised Udyogam Sarva Daityanam. He has appraised all different clans of Asuras now. Who is doing Shumbha. Now he is ordering them. And what these 86 different types of asuras called Udayudha, and 80, and then there is 84 Chaturasiti, then 84 of them representing Kambus, Swabalair Vrtaha, surrounded by their own forces, go out. Sandhya.
Adya sarvabalairdaitya षडशीतिरुदायुधाः
अद्य सर्वबलैर्दैत्या षडशीतिरुदायुधाः अद्य सर्वबलैर्दैत्या षडशीतिरुदायुधाः
कम्बूनां चतुरशीतिर्निर्यान्तु स्वबलैर्वृताः
कम्बूनां चतुरशीतिर्निर्यान्तु स्वबलैर्वृताः कम्बूनां चतुरशीतिर्निर्यान्तु स्वबलैर्वृताः
So for,
अद्य
yeah, go, sorry, Amma, go ahead.
अद्य सर्वबलैर्दैत्या षडशीतिरुदायुधाः कम्बूनां चतुरशीतिर्निर्यान्तु स्वबलैर्वृताः
अद्य सर्वबलैर्दैत्या षडशीतिरुदायुधाः कम्बूनां चतुरशीतिर्निर्यान्तु स्वबलैर्वृताः अद्य सर्वबलैर्दैत्या षडशीतिरुदायुधाः कम्बूनां चतुरशीतिर्निर्यान्तु स्वबलैर्वृताः
The next type, Panchashadasuranam Kotiviryani Kulani Vai. There is another clan. Can you scroll up? Yes, there is another clan called Kotiviryas. Panchashad Asuranam, 50 of the Asura families belonging to Kotiviryas. Asuran Kulani Vai. Then Shatankulani Dhaumranam Nirgachantu Mamagnyaya. 100 families of Dhaumras also have been ordered by Shumbha to get ready for the war. Koti Viryani, keep counting. So just like what we did in the Mahishasura Vadha Sainya, I described to you who are all the different asuras and what they represent in the context of our own inner enemies. Don't listen to this as some Purana or chant as if some mother is going to just give you some boons and all of that is all good. That is all fine. But if you don't use it to connect to yourself spiritually, all of that only helps for Chitta Shuddhi, nothing more than that. Kotiviryani Panchashadasuranam Vai Shatankulani Dhaumranam Nirgachantu Mamagnyaya. My command is now to have 50 Asura families. Now he is calling upon all these guys, Kotiviryas, Dhaumras. And before, in the last two shlokas, Udayudha, Kambu. Now Kotivirya, Dhaumra. Go ahead.
कोटिवीर्याणि पञ्चाशदसुराणां कुलानि वै
कोटिवीर्याणि पञ्चाशदसुराणां कुलानि वै कोटिवीर्याणि पञ्चाशदसुराणां कुलानि वै
शतङ्कुलानि धौम्राणां निर्गच्छन्तु ममाज्ञया
शतङ्कुलानि धौम्राणां निर्गच्छन्तु ममाज्ञया शतङ्कुलानि धौम्राणान् निर्गच्छन्तु ममाज्ञया
कोटिवीर्याणि पञ्चाशदसुराणां वै शतङ्कुलानि धौम्राणां निर्गच्छन्तु ममाज्ञया
कोटिवीर्याणि पञ्चाशदसुराणां कुलानि वै शतङ्कुलानि धौम्राणां निर्गच्छन्तु ममाज्ञया कोटिवीर्याणि पञ्चाशदसुराणां कुलानि वै शतङ्कुलानि धौम्राणां निर्गच्छन्तु ममाज्ञया
By the way, after Sandhya is chanting, I hope all of you are also repeating with your mics muted. Otherwise, what happens is you will miss the opportunity to pronounce these words, and not just listening to it, but please unmute, please chant so you get a practice right here. Okay, and then if you have any questions, please don't put them on the chat. Don't distract people. If you have a question, put it directly to me so that you are not pulling everybody into distraction. Okay, please, that is another discipline. And unless it is a question that is so important, there is fire in the room, let's all get out. So if you have questions, just put them in directly to me for clarification. Sairam. Kalaka daurhurda maurvaha kalakeya stathasura yuddhaya tu agnyaya tvarita mama. The asuras now representing Kalaka, Daurhrida. It's not Maurya, it is Maurva. Maurva and Kalakeya. All these different, all of you, Yuddhaya Sajjaniryantu, Agnyaya Tvarita Mama. Come on, hasten up on my command. Get ready for the war and march forth for the battle. That's what Shumbha is now ordering those. So we have Udayudha, Kambu, Kotivirya, Dhaumra, Kalaka, Daurhurda, Maurva, Kalakeya. 8 different types of these. I will not explain right now because I want to go through the chanting. After the class is over at 8 o'clock, I will give the inner meaning so that people can, if they don't want to really connect to inner meaning and only interested in chanting, they can stop there. So, Kalaka Daurhurda Maurvah, Kalakeyas Tatha Surah, Yuddhaya Sajjaniryantu, Agnyaya Tvarita Mama.
कालकादौर्हृदामौर्वाः कालकेयास्तथासुराः
कालकादौर्हृदामौर्वाः कालकेयास्तथासुराः कालकादौर्हृदामौर्वाः कालकेयास्तथासुराः
युद्धाय सज्जानिर्यान्तु आज्ञया त्वरिता मम
युद्धाय सज्जानिर्यान्तु आज्ञया त्वरिता मम युद्धाय सज्जानिर्यान्तु आज्ञया त्वरिता मम
कालकादौर्हृदामौर्वाः कालकेयास्तथासुराः युद्धाय सज्जानिर्यान्तु आज्ञया त्वरिता मम
कालकादौर्हृदामौर्वाः कालकेयास्तथासुराः युद्धाय सज्जानिर्यान्तु आज्ञया त्वरिता मम कालकादौर्हृदामौर्वाः कालकेयास्तथासुराः युद्धाय सज्जा निर्यान्तु आज्ञया त्वरिता मम.
Very nice chanting, Amma. So can you stop there? Kind of, please don't move. Okay, you have to pay attention to that, how they chanted the Agnya. The line represents the pause. So when she chanted, she said, Yuddhaya sajja nirjantu Agnyaya tvarita mama, because there is a vowel there. So you have to take a short pause. And we are emphasizing this because a lot of people are just beginning to get on the train and they haven't heard these simple pronunciation rules. So when take an opportunity to explain those as well. Ityajnapya asurapatihi Shumbhaha Bhairavashasanaha. After issuing these commands, who? The Lord of all the Asuras, Bhairavashasanaha, the ruthless ruler called Shumbha, Nirjagama Mahasainya, Sahasrair Bahubhir Vrutaha, and accompanied by thousands of soldiers with him, he has taken off for the war with all his forces. Ityajnapya surapatihi Shumbho Bhairavashasanaha Nirjagama Mahasainya Sahasrair Bahubhir Vrutaha.
इत्याज्ञाप्यासुरपतिः शुम्भो भैरवशासनः
इत्याज्ञाप्यासुरपतिः शुम्भो भैरवशासनः इत्याज्ञाप्यासुरपतिः शुम्भो भैरवशासनः
निर्जगाममहासैन्यः सहस्रैर्बहुभिर्वृतः
निर्जगाममहासैन्यः सहस्रैर्बहुभिर्वृतः निर्जगाममहासैन्यः सहस्रैर्बहुभिर्वृतः
इत्याज्ञाप्यासुरपतिः शुम्भो भैरवशासनः निर्जगाममहासैन्यः सहस्रैर्बहुभिर्वृतः
इत्याज्ञाप्यासुरपतिः शुम्भो भैरवशासनः निर्जगाममहासैन्यः सहस्रैर्बहुभिर्वृतः इत्याज्ञाप्यासुरपतिः शुम्भो भैरवशासनः निर्जगाममहासैन्यः सहस्रैर्बहुभिर्वृतः.
I think in the Telugu there is a mistake which I need to correct. It should be Surapati. It is Surapati. Okay. Made a note of that. Okay. Now, the next slokam is Ayantam Chandika Društva Tat Sainyam Ati Bhishanam. Mother Chandika has seen this Sainyam Ati Bhishanam, the most ferocious army coming towards her. She saw this terrible army coming, and then what did she do? Jvasanai Purayamasa Dharani Gaganantaram. Then she filled the space between Dharani and Gagana, the earth and the sky, by pulling the twang or the string, by creating the twang of the bowstring. Ayantam Chandika Društva Tat Sainyam Ati Bhishanam Jvasanaihe
आयान्तं चण्डिका दृष्ट्वा तत्सैन्यमतिभीषणम्
आयान्तं चण्डिका दृष्ट्वा तत्सैन्यमतिभीषणम् आयान्तं चण्डिका दृष्ट्वा तत्सैन्यमतिभीषणम्
ज्यास्वनैः पूरयामास धरणी गगनान्तरम्
ज्यास्वनैः पूरयामास धरणी गगनान्तरम् ज्यास्वनैः पूरयामास धरणी गगनान्तरम्
आयान्तं चण्डिका दृष्ट्वा तत्सैन्यमतिभीषणम् ज्यास्वनैः पूरयामास धरणी गगनान्तरम्
आयान्तं चण्डिका दृष्ट्वा तत्सैन्यमतिभीषणम् ज्यास्वनैः पूरयामास धरणी गगनान्तरम् आयान्तं चण्डिका दृष्ट्वा तत्सैन्यमतिभीषणम् ज्यास्वनैः पूरयामास धरणी गगनान्तरम्
ततः सिंहः महानादम् अतीव कृतवान् नृपा. Then the lion, Nrupa, who is he addressing to? Nrupa. Nrupa means the king. Who is the king? What's the name of the king?
Suratha.
Hello, yo, yo,
Suratha.
Rama.
Suratha.
Suratha. Yeah. Yeah. So please be present when there is these words are used just for reference, so that the rishi is checking if you are present or not. Suddenly you are lost in something, and now suddenly you don't know who he is even talking to. Nrupa, O Suratha, Tataha, then Simhaha, the lion. What did it do? Mahanadam Ativa Krita. She roared magnificently. Loud roar the Simham gave. Ghantasvanena Tannadan Ambika Chopa Brumhayat. Then Ambika, she combined the roar of that lion along with her ghantanada, the ring of the bell. Yeah. Now, what is the sound of the twang? What is the sound of the bell? What is the sound of the drum? What is the sound? All these things we see in the temple beating, all these different, when the divine is invoked, what is the significance of all those sounds, and how are they related to all these different types of guys that are coming to fight with her? There is a inner significance of that too. Be with us later to listen to that. Now, what are these sounds? Why are these sounds made? The roar of the lion, the twang of her bowstring, and then she combines that roar of the lion with the sound of her bell. Tata simho mahanadam ativa kritavan nrupa ghanta svanena tannadan ambika chopa brumhayat.
ततः सिंहो महानादमतीव कृतवान् नृप
ततः सिंहो महानादमतीव कृतवान् नृप ततः सिंहो महानादमतीव कृतवान् नृप
घण्टास्वनेन तन्नादमम्बिका चोपबृंहयत्
घण्टास्वनेन तन्नादमम्बिका चोपबृंहयत् घण्टास्वनेन तन्नादमम्बिका चोपबृंहयत्
ततः सिंहो महानादमतीव कृतवान् नृप घण्टास्वनेन तन्नादमम्बिका चोपबृंहयत्
ततः सिंहो महानादमतीव कृतवान् नृप घण्टास्वनेन तन्नादमम्बिका चोपबृंहयत् ततः सिंहो महानादमतीव कृतवान् नृप घण्टास्वनेन तन्नादमम्बिका चोपबृंहयत्
Dhanurja Simha Ghantanam Nadapurita Dingmukha. The entire space in all directions is now filled with three different sounds. One is Dhanush, her twang of the string, then the Simham and the Ghanta, the Nada or the sound of those three have completely Dingmukha Purita. All it has filled the entire Dingmukha means the faces of all the directions. Mukha means face, Dik means direction. The faces of all the directions are filled with that sound. Ninadair Bhishanai Kali Jigye Vistarita Anana Ninadaha Bhishanai Kali. Then the mother Kali joined all of this noises also, and then she also roared with her terrific roar. She opened her mouth, Vistaritanana. Who did? Kali joined and did the same thing. Dhanurja Simha Ghantanam Nada Purita Dingmukha Ninadair Bhishanai Kali Jigye Vistaritanana.
धनुर्ज्या सिंहघण्टानान् नादापूरितदिङ्मुखा
धनुर्ज्या सिंहघण्टानान् नादापूरितदिङ्मुखा धनुर्ज्या सिंहघण्टानान् नादापूरितदिङ्मुखा
निनादैर्भीषणैः काली जिज्ञे विस्तारितानन
निनादैर्भीषणैः काली जिज्ञे विस्तारितानना निनादैर्भीषणैः काली जिज्ञे विस्तारितानना
धनुर्ज्या सिंहघण्टानान् नादापूरितदिङ्मुखा निनादैर्भीषणैः काली जिज्ञे विस्तारितानन
धनुर्ज्या सिंहघण्टानान् नादापूरितदिङ्मुखा निनादैर्भीषणैः काली जिज्ञे विस्तारितानना धनुर्ज्या सिंहघण्टानान् नादापूरितदिङ्मुखा निनादैर्भीषणैः काली जिज्ञे विस्तारितानना.
Now you have to pay attention to that nga, ding mukha. So it is kakha gagha nga, nga. So I hope you caught that, and Jayasri Sandhya were saying very nicely. Nada purita ding mukha, ding mukha. It should come from nga sound. Ninader bhishanai kali jigye vistaritanana. Tan निनादमुपसृत्य दैत्य सैन्यैश्चतुर्दिशं देवी Simha Tatha Kali Sa Roshai Parivaritaha. On hearing that roar, the Asura battalions, Tan Ninadam Upasrutya, after listening to that Ninada, Daitya Sainyas Chaturdisham, all these battalions that are in all the four directions, Devi Simha Statha Kali Saroshai Parivaritaha. Then they surrounded the Devi, the Simha, and also Kali. Saroshai, Saroshai means full of anger. Parivarita, they surrounded the Devi, Simha, and also the Kali. Tanninadamupasritya Daitya Sainyah Chaturdisham Devi Simha Tatha Kali Saroshaihi Parivaritaha.
तन्निनादमुपश्रुत्य दैत्यसैन्यैश्चतुर्दिशम्
तन्निनादमुपश्रुत्य दैत्यसैन्यैश्चतुर्दिशम् तन्निनादमुपश्रुत्य दैत्यसैन्यैश्चतुर्दिशम्
देवी सिंहस्तथा काली सरोषैः परिवारिताः
देवी सिंहस्तथा काली सरोषैः परिवारिताः देवी सिंहस्तथा काली सरोषैः परिवारिताः
तन्निनादमुपश्रुत्य दैत्यसैन्यैश्चतुर्दिशम् देवी सिंहस्तथा काली सरोषैः परिवारिताः
तन्निनादमुपश्रुत्य दैत्यसैन्यैश्चतुर्दिशम् देवी सिंहस्तथा काली सरोषैः परिवारिताः तन्निनादमुपश्रुत्य दैत्यसैन्यैश्चतुर्दिशम् देवी सिंहस्तथा काली सरोषैः परिवारिताः.
It's a very good place for us to pause on the class. Tomorrow you will see a very beautiful aspect of this episode. And I don't want to steal the mother's thunder, so to say. She will reveal herself tomorrow in a very beautiful way, and we will continue the class tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, Sandhya and Jayashri. And with that, we'll chant the prayer, the Kshama prayer. And if you wish to know the significance of it, you can stay on. And if you don't, you're welcome to drop off and celebrate your Christmas. It's completely all right. Om yadaksharapadabrashtam matrahinam tu yadbhavet tatsarvan shamyatam deva narayana namostute visargabindu matrani padapadaksharaणि cha nyunani chatiriktāni kshamasva saīshvara aparatha sahasrāणि kriyante harnisham maya dasoyamiti mam matva kshamasva saīshvara अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्य भावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ओम तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु स्वस्तिः प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेण मार्गेण महिं महिषाः Go Brahmanebhya Shubhamastu Nityam Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sairam. Anybody has any insight into what has happened today with the mother? Mm. Srinivas Konchada. There are people that have been studying Devi Matyam
Sairam.
for, yeah.
I see she is becoming more ferocious now.
She's becoming more ferocious. Oh, is that beautiful or what?
Anna, can I say something?
Yes.
I could be wrong. I'm just saying, guessing that she is of Nada Swarupa and that sound is primordial. And because of that sound, that sound is fundamental in the sense that it can destroy all the negative things that are there and the qualities that are there in people.
How does it relate to us? That's the question.
So the
As lo-
sound,
As
yeah.
long as, one second. As long as we think that this relates to somebody outside, we will not connect to it.
Right,
And
right,
somebody
right.
was saying, you know, the mother, and we are always caught up in this dual aspect of there is some mother, she's the God, and therefore I have to worship her and all of that stuff. That is all true. Now, first and foremost, there are 8 different clans that are described. Can somebody name those? Yuyadhu, Udayudha, Kambu, Kotivirya, Dhaumra, Kalaka, Daurhrida, Maurva, Kalakeya. Who are these different clans of the demons that Shumbha is invoking? Meditate on that first. Now, what happens with these mantras? Who is Shumbha representing within us? The Shumbha represents the ego. And this ego now provokes all different types of instincts, all different types of tendencies within us. When the time to come to battle against the Supreme Self, yes, what happens is the ego is now surrounded by all these guys. The Chanda, the Munda, the Dhumralochana. So far we have killed, she has killed 3. One is Dhumralochana. Second is Chanda. Then is Munda. Now in the context of now going to this particular chapter, Shumbha has now provoked 8 different types of instincts within us. And this is what is the beauty of this. When you connect to how your ego acts, you will be amazed how many different ways the ego functions within us to do anything and everything to steal away the presence of the mind to this supreme consciousness. Yes. And those 8, again, when we talked about the 15 before, right? Chikshura, Chamara, Bidala. For those of you who are joining the class for the first time, kindly go and listen to this, because you're joining in the middle of the battle. You have no idea what is happening. So you have to first be in the battle, be present to the battle. And when you are present to this battle, what this beautiful Rishi is now invoking is presence of this, these 8, or what we are called as the Udayudha is the contempt, the Kambu is the feeling of shame, Kotivirya is about fear. Dhaumra is about doubt. Kalaka is about disgust. Daurhrida is about pride about your own family, your caste, or your group identity that restricts you. Maurva means pride in one's own spiritual greatness, one's morality, and being judgmental about others. And then Kalakeya means identity of false pride and sense of superiority. These are the 8 that now the ego is provoking. You think the battle is so simple? Yeah? You think the battle is simple? The simple battle is now there is contempt, there is feeling of shame, there is fear, there is doubt, there is disgust, frustration, there is about pride about your own caste, your creed, your kula. I am a Brahmin, I am this, I am that, I come from this place, I am such a great person, I have all this identity associated with me. And then with that comes the ability to judge others. I am greater than this person. How come that person is not as spiritual as me? I am the most spiritual person. I do all this upasana, anushtana, all this spiritual pride. How come these people are so ignorant? They don't know. Suddenly that spiritual pride is the most harmful pride, Bhagavan says. You can't cure that person because they're spiritually so proud that you cannot cure them. I am Satya Sai devotee. I am greater than any other guru's devotees. I am Satya Sai devotee. Now there is that pride. Now, even that is something that comes in interfering with the presence to the Supreme Consciousness. And then ultimately, you have to annihilate all these things. And you see these things provoked when your ego is challenged. Yes, when your ego is challenged, you will find that if somebody says, how come, sir, you don't know this, you have been doing the, oh, how come he said that, I've been doing Rudram chanting for so long, he's pointing my mistake. Yeah, you make mistakes. So if somebody points out a mistake, you don't get to get offended about it, but we do. Somebody tells that your bhajan, you missed this. Suddenly you feel, oh, how come I have been singing? I'm such a great singer. I'm such a great chanter. How come this fellow is pointing out my mistake? Yes, hello. Am I talking something foreign to anybody here? Do we see this popping up in our head? How the ego gets challenged? How the ego gets challenged? I am this caste. I'm superior to everybody. I am Kamma, I am Reddy, I am Kapu, I am Iyer, I am Iyengar, I am Bahadur, I am this, I am that. How come these fellows are challenging me like that? I am white, I am black, I am yellow, I am orange, I am all these colors. This is what is provoked by ego. Then the ego says, go fight, man. Gather all your guys belonging to that caste, assemble them together, and now go fight. Are you seeing this happening in the world? Hello, Sairam. Yes. In front of us, this is happening. Who is fighting this battle within us? And that's what is invoked in this chapter. And now how the mother will actually, the sounds that we are talking about, all these lower tendencies are coming from the lowest of the mind. And when they come from the lowest of the mind, and Jaru aunty, I don't know if she's still there or not, but the sound that is invoked will still different types of these things. Now, what we're talking about is now 3 different sounds. One is the twang, of her bow. The second is the bell. The third is the roar of the lion. And the fourth one joined by the Kali's roar. You can hear these sounds 100% when we connect to the mantras. They will hum, phat, hum. What did she do with hum? Huh? What did she do with hum? Humkarini. What did she do with hum?
Killed Dhumra.
Annihilated the home.
Yes, she did two things with the hum. Killed Dhumralochana. She also eliminated all the
Mahishasura.
armies of Mahishasura with one sound called hum. The story repeats. And the sounds when you invoke within us, this is the power of the mantra. When you invoke that sound with your power of the mantra, then some of these tendencies will be annihilated. And that's the power of that sound. You don't have to do anything but just chant Om with full presence. You will see what happens. How the mind is calmed down from so many different types of ugly heads popping up. You will notice only with Omkara Upasana. And this Om itself is chanted in 21 different ways to still different types of tendencies. This is yoga. This is all about yoga now we are going into. And this is experimented by the greatest of the rishis. And it is scientifically proven by their inner experimentation. We are thinking that I don't really have time to chant all these mantras. How fast can I chant and get out of this place? But if you truly chant Om, Om, there is Eem, there is Om, there is Hum, there is Hreem, there is Kleem, there is Aim, there is Shreem. All these sounds have different effects on your body, mind, and ego complex. And therefore, you have to do the upasana of the japam in the inner mind that would actually absolutely subside all the forces of who are all the guys? Today we invoked Udayudha represents contempt. Kambu represents feeling of shame. Kotivirya represents the fear. Dhaumras represents the doubt. Kalaka represents frustration or disgust. Daur Hrida represents pride of your own identity associated with your family, with your caste and the group or jati you identify with. Maurya represents one's own pride, Maurva, in the pride associated with your own spiritual growth. Kalakeya represents a false sense of identity and superiority. Invoke different sounds. Jai Sai Ram. Any questions, Sai Ram? Thank you. Tomorrow is a beautiful revelation of the mother. We'll get into that tomorrow. Jai Sai Ram. Thank you.
Tomorrow morning, do we have class, practice class?
Practice class? No, she's in India. Okay, no, this afternoon at 2 o'clock, there is a practice class of 7th chapter, Amma. That is California time.
Uncle, tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m.
Sunday.
Oh, tomorrow afternoon. Yes, tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, Sita, that's I don't know when it is for you, but whatever time zone you are in.
So 2 o'clock California time.
Yes,
Afternoon.
yes,
That
Amma,
is
that'll be too early for you. Okay, we'll record it and you can practice. Thank you, Sai Ram. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you. Thank you, Sai Ram.